persons I'm going to be presenting first will be people that actually have been championing the cause, not only with New Haven, with New Life, but also statewide and federally. More than that, they've actually, I'll say, taken New Life and the Coalition of Working Families under their wing, in that they've been very supportive of our efforts and the organizations that are out there, some of you represented here, in terms of the work that we're doing with the VITA program. And in this year's 2007 VITA program, we're expanding to 5 sites. And this is a new site you're in here. This will be a site, the Community House, West Haven Community House. And we're also opening and expanding up another site in United Shoreline Credit Union on Drummond Street in New Haven. Central San Jose will continue to be a site in Gannett Avenue, New Life Corporation, and 540 Elagrasa Boulevard, and our kids in 45 Dixwell Avenue will also be a site. I mentioned more, that's 5, right? Okay. Having said that then, because I know everyone has something to do, like I said, I really appreciate you all being here, and I want to start with a hearty welcome to a great friend personally, as well as to, like I said, the cause of people that, working families, children, individuals, all around the country, and does a lot of work in representing New Haven very well. So with no more ado, I'd like to present the Congressman Elizabeth Warren.
Thank you. Good morning and happy holidays to everyone. And it was great to come here. What I don't even mind. I've got a loud voice here. Wonderful. The complex here is just getting bigger and bigger. I normally come here to read to Head Start kids, which is always great fun, and it's a good way to start the day. I love you. Wish everyone a happy holiday as well, and I'm delighted to be back here again, and I want to say a thank you to Ariel, to the Coalition for Working Families. It is my optimistic that with a new direction for our nation, that people who are eligible for earned income tax credit or some of the other efforts, child tax credits, etc., that what we are going to try to do is to increase the opportunity. We're going to try to go out there and look for folks who are eligible for these programs, that we would lower the threshold for the child tax credit, so that in fact what we can do is again provide for the economic security of families in our community. Delighted to be here with Mayor Picard, and thank him for his good work and for making this a priority in this community. With my colleague, with Tony Hart, and you all know of her unbelievable work for families at the State House, and she is really an anchor in that area. And I know we're working with Empower New Haven and with the IRS, the community and faith-based organizations, all, we can't make this happen without your help, because you are on the front lines. You know where folks are, and you can get a message to them. We kick off the Coalitions for Working Families 2007 Free Tax Preparation Campaign. We're really very fortunate to have this group. It's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ariel, that the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, this was last year, 1,300 individuals and families in our community were saved or were refunded over $2 million thanks to tax credits like the child tax credit, the dependent care tax credit, the earned income tax credit. It wasn't, I believe that it was Donald Reagan who coined that the earned income tax credit, the child tax credit, that these were programs that were the single biggest way to lift families out. You know, one of the things I found a few years ago was that in the with regard to the child tax credit, there were young men and women serving in Iraq and in Afghanistan whose families were not eligible for child tax. They were eligible to give their lives, but their families were not going to let their child. We've made some headway there. We have to continue to make more. There's another difference, that because they were in combat, their combat pay put them over the top. So we're now able to say that if they receive combat pay, that doesn't put them over the top to get a child. So we've got roads to go down, and this is the group that will help to get it done. What we want to do is to be able to let people know about the credits like these, credits that reward work and family. They're not only available, but they are easy to claim. People who are struggling to make ends meet do not or cannot take the time to wade through complicated tax forms. You've got every year 3 to 4 million people in eligible households still do not claim the EITC and similar tax credits. You've got almost $2.5 billion in unclaimed benefits that are on the table. And the tragedy is that many families who are in need end up losing out on the money that they can use to buy groceries, new clothes for their kids, to pay for health-related costs, or a down payment on a home. So to the New Life Corporation, to the members of the coalition, you've come together around this program with funding provided by Empower New Haven, recruiting assistance from UNH. You'll train the volunteers again. You'll give them the resources to be able to prepare the tax returns for those who do want to claim these tax credits. Ariel mentioned all of the places in which the facility will be available, and I pledge to you that through our offices, we will get that word out for you as well, and help to instruct people as to where to go to be able to make a difference. It is about opportunity. It is about making a difference in people's lives. Where does it start? We do a lot of rhetoric talking about how supportive you are of kids, what you want to do for kids, and what we ought to be doing for kids. If we do not put their families on an economic track to security, these youngsters are never going to be able to get an opportunity. This is the kind of a program that makes a difference in the lives of those families and says, we're going to provide you with a tax break, we're going to reward your work, and you are going to be able to take care of your families. Thanks for doing all this. I much appreciate it.
Lonnie was supposed to be here, and he called me just this morning around 9:30. He had another television appearance that he had to go to, so but he was here right till 9:30. I thought we'd make it. He did. The next person I'd like to present again, it's great that I can say this, personal friend and again, a champion for families, children, and everything, and been working a long time and working locally and for the state. Senator Tony Hart.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today to announce this great program and to be here with my colleague in political life, Congresswoman DeLauro. Isn't she great? Let's give her another hand. Commitment and her voice in Washington is a wonderful gift that we have in this area. So thank you for all that you do. And I also want to recognize the great mayor of the city of West Haven, Mayor Picard. When Ariel went to him and asked for assistance, he was a new mayor back then, this was last year, but he understood how important this program is. So thank you very much. When you think about what happens with this program and the fact that it helps families and it helps children, the one thing that you don't think about is what an economic stimulus this program is for areas that typically don't get economic stimulus. Almost every dollar that comes back into the family's household is spent within these communities. So it's really in our interest, if we care about developing these communities, to get more and more people who ought to be getting this earned income tax credit, the child tax credit, those credits, because it ultimately builds our communities, it ultimately builds our economic base. So I'm so glad that there are new partners, and I'm glad to be here at the West Haven Community House. Actually, they are in my district, and so it's really wonderful to be here. I haven't been here in a long time, so it's really good to see that you're partnering with New Life and with the Working Families Coalition, and also the United Shoreline Federal Credit Union is also a new partner, and they are doing some wonderful and exciting things in New Haven and with Career High School that I'm sure they're going to tell you about. But I'm so excited because one of the things that I wish that I had learned earlier is really what money means in your life and what it means to be able to save money, to have a good credit rating and all of those things. And the fact that by coming to these sites, you're not just going to get help with your income tax, you're also going to get help with your financial life. And it's going to make a difference to your family, but also to our community. So I commend Ariel for his excitement, for his commitment to this program, for it continually to grow through New Life. And I look forward to next year when there is yet again another site and more people will get involved in what is really one of the greatest programs. Sorry that it was done by Republicans, but glad that it was done in our country. And I'm hoping that there will be enough juice because of the success of this to actually look at doing something very similar in our state and finally being able to pass an earned income tax credit law here in the state of Connecticut. It makes a huge difference, as you've heard, for the families, but also for our community. So again, thank you all for your commitment to this population.
With all due respect, Senator Harp, adding another site, talking about that for next year, let's gobble this one down. But yeah, we're excited. Mayor John Picard, a person that I've gotten to know now for a couple of years, and we've gotten to know that he's really a real good guy. That's a guy thing. But I've respected him, and like Senator Harp said, that right from the beginning when we approached him, he said, you know, I see it, let's get involved, let's do it, and I really commend him for that. Mayor John Picard.
Thank you, Ariel. He deserves a lot of the credit because he does have a lot of enthusiasm and he's persistent and then tenacious too. And then, you know, we talked repeatedly, and at the time he needed a place, and we went to City Hall and worked it out, and I ended up going to ShopRite. And I got to tell you, being here at the West Haven Community House is where it should be. And so I commend you on that, and Patty Stevens and Mike Langel, because coming to the community house, what they're about is helping other people. It's a nonprofit organization that really makes a difference in every way. And I think that's one thing that's missing here. I was at Our Lady of Victory School this morning to give a young third grade an award because she donated her birthday presents to another little girl in a different school whose house burned down. And that was in the New Haven Register. And this 9-year-old girl just came upon herself, and part of the thing is how you make a difference. Now this, she did not do it because she wanted her name in the paper, she did it because out of the goodness of her heart. And I think that's something that you're doing here. When you offer free tax service, the financial benefit obviously is great. As Senator Harp hit the nail on the head also, the money will come back, as Congresswoman Rosa DeLore said, the money will come back in the community, whether they can buy food or toys or clothes at the time of year, it depends what it is, but the money will come back. But people will remember that someone reached out to help them. And I think that benefit needs to be also addressed. Somewhere along the line, someone's going to remember that someone was there, they didn't charge them, they didn't do it because they were looking for something, they did it solely for the purpose to make someone's life better. And that's why it's important. That's why it's important that you're doing it. And I think it's fantastic. And you deserve the Coalition for Working Families and New Life and all the sponsors deserve a round of applause, obviously. And I want to thank you for that. The more things that we do of that nature will definitely really help our own community. And Senator Harp was actually in the mayor's office the other day, and Congresswoman Rosa DeLore and I speak on a frequent basis because the city of West Haven needs money and for a lot of other areas. But these type of things are what makes our community grow here together. And these type of things are what's important. And earning the tax credit, and I said this before in my previous occupation. I was a financial advisor. There was a lot of people that didn't know it existed. And a lot of people always said, well, I so there's $2.5 billion that wasn't paid. That money needs, people need to be aware of this. They're entitled to it. It's a great benefit. Those are the message we have to get out. And thanks you for getting that message out. And anything I can do to help speed that message along, will do. So thank you very much, and I'm honored to be here.
I'd like to introduce someone who should all make your friend. He's from the IRS. But at first he felt like John Buddy and I, which just later on, met with him 3 years ago at the Black Olive, was it? It used to be the Big Olive, yeah? Right, met there, and he said, want to do this on social media? Oh, okay, what kind of stuff? Okay, we'll see. But he bends over backwards, as well as the whole IRS staff, his boss up here in Hartford. Any further ado, Your Honor, please.
Good morning. Hi. I just want to talk a little bit about the earning credit. I just want to use some figures with this. And I have some handouts that are over behind the cloth by patients. So in the state of Connecticut last year, for tax year 2005, so these are all returns filed for 2006, there were approximately 164,000 tax returns filed claiming earning no tax credit in the state of Connecticut. Of that was paid approximately $273 million. So that's a lot of money. For New Haven and West Haven combined, for that same time period, there was approximately 15,700 people filing a 10-year tax credit, bringing in approximately $28 million. So that's pretty good. The VITE program last year, which was through the entire state, approximately 190 sites, such as one here, prepared almost 25,000 tax returns at no charge. The credit this year, the maximum credit, if someone is qualifying and has 2 qualifying children, the credit is up to $4,536. It's a fully refundable credit, so even if they didn't owe any tax whatsoever, they would get a refund check for $4,536. I think Ariel could tell you that it's not uncommon that if someone comes in and they're making minimum wage or maybe a little bit more than that and have 2 or 3 children, that they will walk out of having their tax return prepared for free, expecting a refund of in excess of $5,000 to $6,000. This is something that is not uncommon, and by having this program available, they're also saving the expense of going to a paint repair. So again, this is going to year number 4 for New Life. I think it was 1,300 or so returns last year. Hopefully we'll be approaching 2,000 this year, Ariel. Over 2,000 this year?
There you go. Whoever said it, they're going to do it. Yeah, all of us are going to do it in this room.
Best of luck. Thank you.
I just want to acknowledge some of our funders who have helped us over the years to continue to support us, and that's very important because when you see free tax preparation, and when you have a volunteer workforce of 70, 80 people, when you're running sites and everything, sites are putting in their own money and so on and so forth, and we have to feed them and everything else, so it's not free. So their money goes into that. And I wanted to use Will Ginsburg and the Green Foundation. They've been very supportive to us, and wasn't able to be here. I want to thank, again, Mayor John McCarty, who has also, the administration has supported the program financially. New Haven, I want to thank them, as Rosie mentioned, that they have from the beginning been supporting New Life. Thea's not here as of yet, but Tom Ficklin, who is the Chief Information Officer, he's on vacation. Send me an email because I sent the press release yesterday and his email slapped me all over the place. For future reference, send it earlier. I didn't think it was going to be here, but it's here, and I want to thank him for that. We have New Alliance Bank in Healy, who also excused herself and not able to be here, but they've been supportive. And Yale New Haven Hospital, Kyle Blue, who was supposed to be here, but they've been very supportive. Finally, we also have here, I'd like to recognize Maggie Adair, Public Director for Connecticut Social and Children's Services. She's representing as well Jim Moran, who's here. They're working hard up at the state to enact a state income tax credit program. I'd like to present John Balija, who is, he's like that, but he's the one that said 2000, right? So he has been, he's from New Paradise Consulting, and he has been working with New Life now for going on for 4 years, and I must give him credit. He's brought in his expertise, and vis-a-vis his expertise, I can say that New Life within the coalition has really benefited in terms of where we are today with his national experience with programs, and as we do, and as we work. What I haven't done in the past, but I think is really important because they've been with us for a long time, I want to recognize the sites that are actually working with us, and I want to give them an opportunity to at least say 2 words. I'd like to have Ed Bonilla, Executive Director of Central San Jose, come up. He's been with us from the inception, come on up, Ed. And his site alone there, it's a gold mine. They do 400 to 500 returns a year. Ed Bonilla.
I want to thank Ariel for preparing me for this. Letting me know I have to say a few words. I just want to say we've been with them since the beginning. I want to thank him for approaching us. A few years back, we didn't have a lot of programming going on. We were trying to build Centro, so it was a nice mix. He came in, brought in programs that brought in a lot of people. To my surprise, it was very busy. First year was a little shaky, a lot of coordination issues. But over the years, I've seen New Life, Ariel, and the staff grow. I commend them. Managing volunteers is not easy, and he's got some great volunteers. They are the ones who work hard, and they come in, they're consistent, they're reliable, they're professional. So I got to give a lot of credit for overseeing that, him and his staff. And we're looking forward. It's a little bit difficult as our program is growing now, doing a lot of work with youth from 12 to 18. So, you know, over the years we've been trying to coordinate that, and it's working well, but I have to admit, his staff work like clockwork. The volunteers and the staff, I don't have to worry about anything. They come in and they get the job done, and it's just great. So, and Fairhaven on Grand Avenue, if you folks don't know, that is one community that's, the money that comes back to the people is spent in that community. There's so many local businesses that really benefit, and folks benefit. So it's really a great match over in Fairhaven, I'm sure at the other side. So thank you, Eric.
I promise you all, you'll be out here within the next 10-15 minutes, but please give me this little bit to have the people that are on the ground actually address you, because that's important. Randy Rodriguez, she comes in doing her 2nd year with us from Our Kids, sorry, 3rd year, she with Our Kids Community Center, Family Center, sorry. Randy Rodriguez, our director.
I like to hide behind something. I just want to say that our center is really committed to reunifying abuse and allegations of abuse and neglect. 90% of our families are under the poverty line. So for us to participate in this program is a natural blend. By providing economic incentives and enhancements to our families, all we're doing is enhancing the stabilization and the permanency of that reunification. Our community, Dixwell Avenue, all of you know it, right next to the barber shop, is in desperate need of economic development. And our neighbors come up to us in December. In fact, they've already begun. Are you doing the tax returns again? And so we set our own numbers, and this year we're really hoping we hit 200 within our neighborhood and expanding through our own partnerships that we have with other organizations and other parents that are in need. So I really commend Ariel. I think it's critical to families to have economic development, and that really leads toward family stability and permanence, and could prevent a lot of children from being so disrupted during their early years of life. So I thank you, and I really look forward to our being successful this year.
Very important, just like a baseball bat, every time that you hear my name, it goes right back to the coalition, because they're the ones that are doing the work. I'm nothing but just pushing the fence, and that's easy. Patty Stevens, She is coming, she's the director of the West Haven Community House, and she's coming in as the new kid on the block with a site field this year.
Unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity to say how many people we've had here, but we are really excited to be able to be part of this. I think I'm excited that John thought of us, that we've been in the community for 65 years and people know we're here, and I think that would be advantageous to getting the word out. Every day we talk about communication, we have this electronic communication, but it's amazing how many people don't know what's going on. And we have so many people in and out of our doors here. We have hundreds, if not almost thousands of people that are involved with the community house. And this is a way to spread the word for people to hear about this wonderful opportunity to save some money, to put their families back together, et cetera, and help them. And so we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll do 200, whoever said 200, we'll have at least that many and be able to come back again and stay part of this partnership. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for thinking of us, and we're ready to go.
That's what you asked for. You say 200, that's no easy task. Okay. Finally, the newest kid on the block, Lynn Wagner, who's the CEO of the United Shoreline Credit Union. We're really excited about that partnership.
Well, I just want to say that we are very, very excited to be one of the new sites this year. We moved to a new location over on Trumbull Street back in August, so now we have plenty of room to offer this service. And we have one of the visions of the United Shoreline is to become a staple within the community of New Haven. And to do that, we really feel that we need to get out and do more community involvement, more community outreach programs. And this is just one of the programs that we plan on doing today and in the future. The staff is on board. The excitement level is great. We, along with forming the alliance with New Life, we also are starting what's called the Prosperity Club. And we are doing a pilot program with John, and we're taking 50 people, the first 50 that sign up, and we're trying to show them how they can save their return and get them on the credit path to home ownership. Because we all know that the only way they're going to get anything or better themselves is to own their own home. So in doing this, we formed what's called the Prosperity Club. This includes financial education with them throughout the next year, so many classes that they have to take, credit repair, and preparing them to buy their first home. We're hoping to be able to tie this into an IDA program. And what we're also doing is when they have their income tax return, they can deposit that with the credit union, take out a shared secured loan for over the next year, pay 3% on that money rather than some 18% or 21% they pay elsewhere. At the end of the year, they'll have that money there to then either apply to it or use that as a down payment. And through the next 12 months, it's going to be educating them on how to save and what they want to do with that money, or use that towards a down payment towards a home. And so we're just really, really excited about some of the programs that we're able to form alliances with people that know how to do it, and we're not trying to start it from scratch. So along with that, and we are opening up a branch at Career High within the next 2 weeks. The kids are running it. They're going to be, we decided to do it so that the kids are going to, they form their own board of directors. They're following all of Robert's Rule of Order. They're going out, we're training them on financial literacy so they can now take it to the middle school and grammar school. And I've never seen so many kids so excited about being able to run this from soup to nuts. And we're currently in 3 middle schools that we go out to every week and teach the kids, take deposits, and let them manage the credit union, and we oversee 3 of the middle schools in New Haven. So along with this and the Vita site, we're just really happy that things are going along.
As Lynn mentioned the Prosperity Club, anyone who you might think that is interested, just contact me directly at New Life Corporation, and we'll get you work with them to see if they can participate in that program. Because I fear her so, I'm not going to have her speak, but she came to me. She was very explicit in reference to I do not want to speak unless she's changed her mind. Yes,
I think she should speak.
I'm speaking about Theo Marshall from Empower New Haven, who's, I'm getting a lot of people here by surprise. I'm going to pay for this later, but we'll get it later. All the way down here, just say hi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be a part of continuing to support the efforts of the Coalition for Working Families for supporting New Life. We know their numbers just exceeded all efforts in the area, and we want to continue to support his effort to see him reach and see the group and all the sites exceed what they did last year. As you know, Empowerment Cajun supports all efforts for families, especially our low-income families, to move towards financial success, to begin to do some asset building and some true wealth management. We do that in a number of different ways, and these sites are very critical in that they're the first link to our families, where we can begin to tell them about other programs, other goods, other services to help them get to that reality of home ownership that you talked about. Our New Haven Saves program, our IDA programs, our financial literacy programs, credit counseling programs, home buyer education programs. So sometimes this is the first gateway or first entry to a lot of those programs that many of you provide and support in this area. So we're excited again, Ariel, to be a partner with you for this year, and we wish you great success and look forward to seeing those big numbers this year. Thank you.
It's gonna hurt me more when it hurt her. Lastly, the last person, Maggie, why don't you come up very quickly? She came all the way from Hartford. Come on up very quickly. She was tirelessly in a number of different efforts, and I just want to make her.
Yeah, I wanted to actually comment on what Laura talked about Ronald Reagan and the federal earnings and tax credit. And he indeed would say it is the most significant anti-poverty tool there is. And the Center for Children in Poverty has found that the earned income tax credit reduces child poverty by 25%. And so we want to build on that. And last year, CAUSE, which is my organization, with a really broad coalition of nonprofits, advocates, vital coalitions like Ariel's, vital coalitions in Hartford and Bridgeport, we have faith-based leaders, we have labor, working to get a state earned income tax credit. Basically, it would piggyback from the federal income tax credit. And Senator Marty Zunique has been the champion for years on this, and he is behind us all the way. He's going to be fighting for this. Last year, we got it into the final hours in the budget package, and that's end of story. We didn't quite get it. But we got so far that we're really excited, and with the coalition of really a lot of supporters. Yesterday, we had an advocacy strategy meeting around the state EITC. We had 30 people there. We're really excited, people from all walks of life. And so we're going to be working on it, and we're hoping we can get it passed this year.
Maggie, maybe mention your February 1st press conference, perhaps.
I do, sorry.
Any words of wisdom, John? Sorry.
Sorry, February 1st, he just asked me to announce, I forgot about it. We are going to be having an EITC Day press conference at the Legislative Office Building, and this press conference coincides with the IRS, which is doing a national EITC Day. They're going to be doing national media, they're going to help us with the media, and this day will be to kick off both the VITA sites, the earned income tax credit, and the state EITC campaign, and we're going to be inviting as many people as possible. Thank you.
He's like this, okay, I don't think he's a guy, he'll smack, he'll hit me hard. Okay, we'll just bark, come here, but she loves me. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here, what we're doing, so thank you, and let's get to